Last night was insane. In the biggest missile attack on the state of Israel since its founding, Iran tried to show that the promises of God were null and void. Well, guess what? God showed up in an absolutely miraculous way. From the reports we have so far, not a single Israeli was killed in this massive attack. Here on Har Bracha, we had hundreds of rockets blowing up all over our heads and shrapnel falling all over around us. I'm going to give you the full breakdown. We're going to get into the details of exactly what happened, so stay tuned. I'm Justin, and this is the Israel Guys. Welcome to the Israel Guys, where we believe that in a world of Jew hatred and anti-Israel propaganda, you should have a direct connection to the land and people of Israel. Guys, last night was crazy. In a massive attack that they've been building up to and preparing for months, Iran has been warning that they're going to attack Israel. 181 ballistic missiles were fired at the state of Israel last night, and guess what? Not a single Israeli was killed, although unfortunately 2 were lightly injured. The only person killed from the attack was one Palestinian man in Jericho who, according to a report I saw, had actually snuck into Israel from Gaza. He was the only person who was killed in this attack. Guys, no matter what you may be hearing on the media, this was an epic failure on the part of the Islamic Republic of Iran. No, it was not a failure on the part of Israel. This was a failure on the part of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Before we get into the details of the attack, how it affected us here, also just how it went down, I want to make something very clear. Last night, guys, was a miracle from God. Plain and simple, it was a miracle. Yes, Israel has the Iron Dome and very advanced defense technologies. They do have all that, but it all ultimately comes down to the hand of God over his people, Israel. So at around 7:30 last night, we all got alerts on our phones from the Home Front Command, and sirens started going off across all of Israel. This is the red alert map that we got. The entire country showing red dots, meaning there are missiles coming for the entire country. Iran announced that this oncoming attack was in retaliation for Israel's assassination of its proxy, Hezbollah's leader, Hassan Nasrallah. Also, Israel just pretty much destroying the leadership of Hezbollah, doing a demolition job on all of their leadership. So Iran was really not happy about that. And they said this attack is in retaliation for that. A senior Iranian official told Reuters the order to launch missiles at Israel had been made by the country's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, who remains in a secure location because, for a good reason, he is very scared for his life right now. So literally, the entire country of Israel, nearly 10 million people went into lockdown, running to bomb shelters or whatever safe space they could get to. All of us here on Har Bracha, we went inside our houses. We got on the floor since we don't have bomb shelters. And as you can see in some of these videos that some of our team was able to take, hundreds of missiles were flying directly over our heads and, thank God, being taken out by the Iron Dome. Massive explosions happening. It was pretty crazy there for about 45 minutes to an hour. Very loud explosions. The walls of our houses were shaking. I heard pieces of shrapnel falling on the roof, also shrapnel falling around. We were able to pick up actually quite a few pieces of shrapnel. This piece that I found this morning from, most likely, I don't think it was from the Iron Dome. Most likely it was from a rocket from Iran. But this was happening all over the country. It wasn't just here. These videos up on the screen are absolutely insane. Yes, the Iron Dome was doing its job very well, but it does look like a lot of missiles were able to make it past the defense system, which honestly makes it even more of a miracle that no one was killed. 2 people were lightly injured, but that no one was killed in this rocket barrage from Iran. 2 rocket barrages from Iran. Multiple houses were damaged. I did hear about different cities where multiple houses were damaged, but again, thank God no one was killed. Absolutely craziness for an hour. Just the reality of this of having to run for bomb shelters in absolute fear, absolute chaos. Guys, you cannot imagine what it was like for the nearly 10 million people here in Israel. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. It was very crazy. But thank God for his protection over the state of Israel. At 8:26 p.m., the IDF's Home Front Command gave the all clear that the attack was over. And then right after that, IDF spokesman Daniel Hagari announced that there were no further threats from Iran at the present time. He said, quote, "We are on heightened alert on defense and offensive. We will protect the citizens of Israel. This missile fire will have consequences. We have plans and we will act in the time and the place that we choose." We'll be right back with the rest of the show in just 1 second. But first, the fall feasts are almost here, and it's believed that this year more believers around the world will be celebrating than ever before in history. If you're a Christian wanting to learn about the biblical festivals and how they're significant in our faith, or if you're looking for a meaningful way to connect with Israel right now, we suggest that you get a copy of I Am Israel, the Believer's Guide to the Rebirth of the Promised Land. Showcasing over 550 stunning photographs, illustrated maps, and powerful stories, this gorgeous hardcover will take you on a visual journey through the land of the Bible. You'll explore the epic regions of Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, the coastlands, and the Galilee. Meet Jewish pioneers who are returning to their ancient homeland just as the Bible foretold. Discover stories of Christian heroes who played a pivotal role in the reestablishment of the nation of Israel, and learn about the feasts of the Lord from Passover to the Feast of Tabernacles to Rosh Hashanah, which is starting tomorrow here in Israel, and see how they are celebrated here in Israel. This high-quality coffee table book is the perfect way to introduce anyone to the miracle of Israel. Just visit the book section at iamisraelfilm.com or just click the link in the description below to get your copy today. So Israel was able to shoot down most of the missiles. Thank God, probably mostly from the Iron Dome. I think they probably used David's sling as well. Not sure exactly. But apparently the U.S. also helped in the defense and shot down some missiles as well. I saw a report that possibly Jordan helped in the defense as well. We were able to shoot some missiles down. But U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said at a White House press briefing, he said, quote, "Today, Iran launched nearly 200 ballistic missiles towards targets in Israel. U.S. naval destroyers joined Israeli air defense units in firing interceptors to shoot down inbound missiles. We will consult with the Israelis on next steps in terms of the response and how to deal with what Iran has just done, and we will continue to monitor for further threats and attacks from Iran and its proxies. We are particularly focused on protecting U.S. service members in the region." Now, Israel has vowed a response, unlike back in April when Iran attacked last time, and the Biden administration back then unfortunately pressured Israel to not respond, and Israel did a really small, weak response to this. They are vowing to respond this time. Netanyahu said that Iran made a big mistake and that they would pay for it.
הערב איראן שוב תקפה את ישראל במאות טילים. המתקפה הזאת נכשלה. היא סוכלה בזכות מערך ההגנה האווירי של ישראל, שהוא המתקדם ביותר בעולם, ואני מברך את צה"ל על ההישג המרשים. היא גם סוכלה בזכות הערנות והאחריות שגיליתם אתם, אזרחי ישראל. ואני מודה גם לארצות הברית על תמיכתה במאמץ ההגנה שלנו. איראן עשתה הערב טעות גדולה, והיא תשלם על כך.
You know what's crazy? If you were stuck in like 30 years ago maybe and thinking that a two-stage solution could possibly work, then last night proved that that will never happen and it will definitely change your mind. Guys, check out these videos. These are Palestinians in the towns of Judea and Samaria, also in Gaza, screaming and yelling and celebrating because of the missiles being fired from Iran. They are happy because there is harm being done to the state of Israel, and that is the biggest thing that brings them joy, is to see harm being done to the state of Israel. I guess either they don't care or they just don't realize, they don't understand that these rockets could just as easily land on them as on Israel. They know Iran doesn't care at all about the Palestinians, and these rockets could just as easily land on their towns, but they don't care, or maybe they just don't understand that. Up here in Har Bracha, we could hear them yelling, cheering all around us. In the Palestinian villages, literally, that are surrounding us here on the mountain. It's just such a culture of death and hatred. They all hate each other. Iran doesn't care at all about the Palestinians, but the one thing that does bring them together, that does unite them, is their absolute hatred of the state of Israel and their desire to wipe Israel from the face of the earth. Guys, though thankfully no one was killed last night in the missile attack, thank God, from Iran, 7 people were killed in a terror attack in Tel Aviv only moments before the rocket attack began. According to the Times of Israel, 7 people were killed and at least 8 others wounded in a shooting and stabbing terror attack in Jaffa on Tuesday evening, according to Israel police, in one of the deadliest terror attacks in recent years. 2 terrorists, one with a knife and the other with a gun, got on the Tel Aviv light rail. They attacked civilians and then they got off and they ran through the streets, killing as many people as possible. I saw a video, we won't play it here, it's too graphic, but they were running through the streets and I just saw bodies laying on the ground from this attack. One guy with a knife, one guy with a gun shooting people. Thank God a local security guard and a civilian were there. They had weapons. They were able to shoot and neutralize the terrorist. It was just an absolutely devastating attack. Definitely one of the worst that has happened in a long time. Guys, pray for the families of the victims. Pray for those who are injured and recovering. Pray for their full recovery, that terrorism like this would not happen anymore here in the land of Israel. Guys, in conclusion, an amazing miracle happened last night, and we thank God for that. But we need to continue to pray for Israel as they're still facing massive threats on all sides. And now more important than ever, it's super important for us to show our support for Israel. When they're going through these hard times, when they're going through this war, just us from the nations, a voice from the nations saying, Israel, you're not alone. We're here with you. We're standing with you. That means the world to the people of Israel. Guys, let me know in the comments below if you're supporting Israel, if you're standing with the nation of Israel, where you're supporting Israel from. Make sure and subscribe. And as always, stop listening to the lies and propaganda. Connect with the truth of what is happening in Israel. We'll be back soon here at the Israel Guys. Catch you in the next one.